to Madita's kitchen. Oh yes, whoop, it's too dry. So it's basically like Aquaman's Triton, like a big long fork. If there's one thing that cannot be missing on an Easter breakfast table in Germany, then that's a Hefezopf, which is translating to a yeast braid. I think you guys know it under either yeast braid or Easter bread. I also saw somewhere that it's called challah. I would say we just jump right into it. I already prepared a little bit by getting my ingredients out and melting half a cup of vegan butter. I melted that so it can cool down because today we're baking with yeast, and yeast is really sensitive to heat and cold, and this is too hot right now. So I melted it already, half a cup of butter. I'm gonna set it aside for now. And the next thing we're going to do is 1 cup of oat milk and heat it up a little bit, but also only to get it warm. We don't want it hot. Shoop. That's good now, so it's warm. We're gonna add 1 bag of yeast powder. You can also use like the yeast like chunks you find like in a fridge. I would just do like one for like a yeast braid. Put our yeast in here, and to see if it's good yeast and still not out of date, we're going to add the sugar so it has something to feed off from. We're going to add half a cup of sugar, and then we're going to stir it a little bit. Did I put my lips on this spoon that I'm now stirring this thing with and then give away the food? Yes, I did. If I do it for friends and family, sorry, that's what you get sometimes. We stir this a little bit, and then we're just gonna let it sit. And then it should get a little bubbly in a little bit. Let it just sit for like 10 minutes. And then we're gonna need a big bowl because our dough will rise later. So we're starting with a big bowl right away. We dry this before I put my flour on here. You may have noticed that I'm in a different kitchen. Yes, that's because I'm dog sitting again. Dog/house sitting for Dylan's grandparents. And I love this house because it has a beautiful backyard, and we're actually getting married here. That's how much we love to be here. And I just love Shiloh. She's the cutest, sweetest dog. She's my best friend. She's my best friend in the US. Okay, so 4 cups of all-purpose flour. 2, 3, 4. 4, then we add our vanilla to it because we're loving it. So remember, if you have like liquid vanilla, I would do like 2 tablespoons. If you like vanilla, I love vanilla. I'm also having cinnamon over there. It's not usually an ingredient that goes into the Hefezopf. I just love to add it, and I wonder if I should do it because I'm going to do it for like Dylan's family, so an American family, so I want them to have the traditional. But I also just love the cinnamon in it. Am I going to do it? No, I don't. What's a vanilla? A pinch, a handful, something between like 1/4 and 1/2 a teaspoon of salt. It depends on how you like your pastry. I do like this much. Yeah, that's, I feel like a little between 1/4 and 1/2 a teaspoon. So we have that. Are we missing anything else? No, I think that's it for now. For the dry ingredients, we're going to mix these together. You can see our yeast creating some bubbles already, but we're gonna give it some more time. Yeast is ready. There is like foam that started building on top, so we're adding this now. Oh, it's wonderful. And oh, I love the taste of yeast. And the butter. So, okay, the butter cooled down. Perfect. So we added this. Then we're gonna mix this a little bit together. We just wanna mix this in a little bit, and then I'm gonna wash my hands because I just licked my finger. And then we're gonna knit it a little bit. Okay, so let's put some flour out on the countertop. I should also take my wedding ring off, but I can't. Well, like my engagement ring. We're still getting wedding rings. I mean, we are married now, thanks to the civil ceremony. But like I said, we're celebrating our wedding here, and we still need rings for that day. Because we're still wearing our engagement rings. Okay, this is good. Oh, it's warm. That's what I love about this kind of dough. Just warm, and the smell of yeast. Yay. Okay, right now I'm just trying to get everything in. Ooh yes, man! You guys can see this, right? Like, this is great. It doesn't stick. It's becoming already super smooth. I wish you could smell it, especially the vanilla. Okay, we also don't want it to get cold. So we're gonna stop now and make a little bowl. Beautiful. I'm really happy about this. And then we take we make a little ball and take our bowl back. That's what I wanted to say. And then we put it in here. Okay, we're back. The dough looks delicious. No, it grew quite a bit. It grew in like half the size. So that's perfect. This is what we want. Now we're going to the next step, which makes the Hefezopf what the Hefezopf is. We're gonna add to a 1/3 cup of milk a tablespoon of maple syrup. You can also use agave. We do that because once we're done with the braiding of the dough, this is what we're gonna put on top to make the pearl sugar stick to it. So a Hefezopf has either pearl sugar on it or sliced almonds, but in the US the only sliced almonds I find are the ones that still have like the skin around it a little bit, compared to the German like blanched almonds. It's basically like blanched sliced almonds. And if you haven't heard of pearl sugar before, I found it at their market of choice, which is basically like a Whole Food store, or more like an organic store, or you know, the more fancier stores carry those. I didn't find it like a normal store. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. It's basically bigger pieces of sugar. Like, it's still white. It's not like rock sugar that's more like see-through or candied sugar. It's just bigger sugar chunks. So you use either that to decorate or the sliced almonds I was talking about. But you can see in the US I only was able to find the ones with the skin. So I kind of don't want to do that because I feel like it has somewhat of a bitter, scratchy taste back on the throat for a sweet, soft pastry. So we're only gonna do the pearl sugar. But before we do all of that, put some flour out. There we go. Just a little bit. The dough is doing like really like fine. We're gonna get the dough. Oh yes, whoop, it's so fluffy. It's fluffy and heavy at the same time. We're going to, I would say we're just gonna knit a little bit. Okay, I don't think I even needed this kind of flour. I could try to spread it out a little bit more because the dough is doing really good. Okay, and let's, I think that would be, yeah. We divide the dough into 3 same like pieces. If you want to do it perfectly correct, you can also get a scale out, but that's not me. I said, I barely even like cook and bake with recipes, so. But we're gonna make one today. So we got 3 pieces. That's perfect. And what we want to do with these 3 is we're gonna roll them out. So first of all, I want it to be like, we want it to be like one combined dough and not have like too many air bubbles in here or too many scars, lines of these, but we'll be fine. Okay, so we're rolling it out long. So you can see it's like still trying to get back into like smaller sausage. But we want it to be long. That means the dough might need to like rise a little longer. So I'm just gonna do this. And if you feel like your dough is too dry, then you might be better off like just use some of the sauce that you just made and like just do a little bit onto it and try to like knead it like back in. And then once you feel like it's one combined dough again, then that's when you start to try and roll it out. Just like this, because I feel like this one is a little too dry. Welcome to Madita's kitchen. Well, this one is a little too dry, so I wanted to show you to just like put a little bit on here, but since it's already on the countertop, I would say we're just gonna dip it in there to make it a little bit more moist, because we don't want our dough to like be too dry, but also don't get it like too wet, because this was like almost too much now. But I'm gonna try to get it all in and then it will be fine. We want it to be quite long, basically the length of the baking tray at least. Usually it's so big that we're gonna put it like in an angle on here. So you want at least to be like have the sausages as long as like from the edge to your baking tray. So being honest, it took me a little bit because the dough started tearing a little bit and created these bubbles, which is not good. This is the length that we're having right now. What we do now, I like to do it on here so I don't have to transfer it later. And we start by putting, actually, let's take it out of the baking tray but keep it on the baking paper so we have a flat surface. So we have one long strain, then we put one to the side and press it on the end here. Then we take the third one and do the same thing on the other side. So it's basically like Aquaman's, what is it called? Triton? Like a big long fork. So yeah, here we have the same kind of issue where it's a little too dry to like stick. So we're just gonna moisten it a little bit here and press it on. It can look a little ugly, no worries. We're gonna like slip that underneath later. And now it's important to create a loose braid. So we take one string from the side and pull it loosely over. And then we remove this one a little out so we have some space. Then we get this one in. Basically just like the way you braid somebody's hair. And then we take this one in again. You know? I feel like you guys get the hang of it now. And this one, keeping it loose. And this one over here, still keeping it loose. Oh, we want to twist it? Nope, we don't want to twist it. Then the next one, and then the next one, and I think we can do one more. Yeah, sort of. Okay, like I said, we press this on, then we just flip it underneath, and we fold up. It doesn't look so bad. So we got this. We're gonna put a little bit more onto the middle. See, this is like so much easier to just take it off and like move it over this way. this very end is not really on here yet. I want to avoid having it go like be apart. So now we take the mixture that I started like moisturizing the dough with. We take it and just put it on, brush it on. Beautiful. Now we take the sugar we bought. Look at this. Okay, next weekend I have to do 2. So I'm glad we did this now, so now we know what to do better. But it looks great. I'll just have it rest for a little longer. Okay, it's getting darker outside again. The sun is not playing with me. But we're ready to put this into the oven. Send it our goodbyes. And then we see it in 20 to 30 minutes again. And we use this to pull it out. Actually, ooh, I would say we were doing pretty good. Look at that. I'm really happy about this. Yes. Oh, it smells so good, I swear. It smells sweet and vanilla-ish. What's the vanilla-y? Oh, it has some tears, yes, but now we just let it cool down for a little bit, and then we're gonna cut it open and see what it looks like from the inside. It's still somewhat smushy, which is awesome because we don't want it to be dry. But yeah, I think this is gonna taste delicious, and we're gonna have a beautiful Easter brunch. And already, like, it looks great. I'm not gonna lie, it looks great. So if you want to like give this to somebody for Easter, this is the perfect thing still. And I can smell it, it's gonna taste great. But we're definitely gonna try it in just a little bit. Okay, so the flavor is amazing. The time in the oven was perfect, like 25 to 30 minutes. I think it looks great. We can definitely improve it a little bit with the tiny tears in the middle, but that happens like all the time. Don't worry. Like, I remember my sister is doing that every year for us, and she has these little tears, and my grandma did it, and sometimes has tears. Like, you can't get it like perfect. I mean, you probably can, but come on, this is homemade. Just we kind of winged this whole thing. So one thing I think I should share with you is how to eat it. So I actually like it plain like this. I've always been like this. But the way to eat it is usually when you have the breakfast table out there, you put some jam out there and you put some jam on it, which tastes delicious. Some people take or use apricot jam for the vegan Hefezopf, because it kind of makes it a little bit stickier and creamier and shinier. They like it when it's shiny. Hi, Shiloh. They like it when it's shiny. But yeah, you just put some jam on it, or some chocolate cream like Nutella, or you can also put something hearty on it. I mean, obviously you can do whatever you want, but it's just like a sweeter pastry. It's not as sugary. That's why I also like it. It's like sweet, but it's not like a crazy amount of sugar. I mean, it's been 4 cups of flour and half a cup of sugar to a usual cake. That's like a little less. So it's so good. Nice. Okay. I wish you a wonderful holiday. I hope you have a great time. I definitely feel a little bit more at home now. It's my first Easter in the US, so I needed something German. And I'm gonna make this next Sunday for Dylan's parents. And we're gonna have it for our Easter brunch. And I'm looking forward to it, and definitely have some more now because I'm pretty hungry. And then I work out, edit it, and upload it so you can make it for yourself and for your family before Easter. So I hope that this video is up by Tuesday, so you have some time. To get the ingredients, it's like super easy. If you can't find this like pearl sugar, no worries. I just was really like on it because I was like, this is the way how I grew up with it. But instead, I just use like sliced almonds, or you don't have to use anything, to be honest. A lot of people just don't put anything on top. And then you're good to go. Put some raspberry jam to it. It's probably the best, or strawberry jam. And people are gonna dig this. I promise. So if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more vegan German recipes, then subscribe to my channel and comment down below. And I'll see you in my next video. Happy Easter, everybody. So good. So good.